Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on Lumber Capital Log Yard. It has been a month since we first took this beauty out of its box. Since then, our expert blade sharpener, aka Grandpa, has been working very hard to learn the ins and outs of this piece of equipment. Today, he is going to be giving a full tutorial on this BMS 250 sharpener, as well as the tooth setter that goes along with it. Let's get into this video. I also wanted to quickly mention that our Cook's sharpener and dual tooth setter is for sale. It is in mint condition, so if you're interested, I'll make sure to leave our business line down in the description. Make sure to call if you're interested and we'll give you a quote. All right, so what is the first step to sharpening a blade on this new tooth setter?
The first thing I do is take this amazing little tool and I check the blade, the teeth on the blade, the set, before I decide whether I need to set it or not. If they're not consistent, if I don't get a good reading, then I take this little tool and I if the blade's got too much set on it, say, and I bend it back. If there's too many of them, I just go set every one of them back more neutral, because I don't want them to set over about 23 degrees. So if you put this on there right now, let me get the right tooth and turn that on. Up that up. Now see, I have straightened all of these because this blade was used previously, and some of the teeth were set closer to 30. Now that's what gives you your marks in your wood. If I get it to 23, real close in there, then you get a real smooth cut. It doesn't climb the knots like those heavy sets do. I've noticed that you get a real smooth cut. So this one I've already straightened out, so I'm going to set it in here. Okay, now I need to get that gullet set right. Clamp it and manually run it. Let me manually get a tooth where it's supposed to be. Now the thing that's nice about this is at one point when this blade gets up to a certain point, it reads the set of the tooth. Make sure I've got the right one here, because this is critical. Let me get one that's bent good. Oops, I gotta back it off. Okay, at that point, this dial reads what the tooth is set at this point. When it advances and sets, comes back, it reads what the tooth is set at. So now I need to turn this one up a little bit, and I need to turn this one up a little bit. And you just, whoops. Okay, that's closer. Okay, we're getting real good. Now, I'll advance it and see what it does. Now I've got it reading. So when this thing starts to close, temporarily it will read what the tooth is set at as I put the blade in. And then it presses it, and then it comes back, it reads that again. So make sure I'm good here. I'm good. It's right on. So now I can turn it on auto advance and push the button, and this thing will start. Okay, that's all very consistent. You try to get 23 plus or minus 2 on your setting, and then that's pretty consistent. So it comes out of here, and then it goes on the sharpener. Let me open the sharpener up so I can put it in there. I used this a couple of times before I set up this exhaust system. And I think with that blade spinning in there and all the oil shooting on it, it atomizes, I guess, if that's the right word, the oil, and you get a mist in the air from all that oil spraying around in here. And since I hooked up this, that's about a 200 CFM fan I put in here a couple days ago. It eliminated all of that. And it keeps just enough draft in here to keep everything kind of contained. So to get your blade down so that the gullet is just barely almost even with this block, so you don't cut too much. You can always raise it up. And then let me make sure this is shut off, and then you get this down. And what I do is manually, very slowly, advance the blade and watch and see what my stone does. Because I don't want that stone to take too much off either. Oops, see, that's a little heavy. That's a little heavy on the back side there. I think that is too. I can. Okay, I'm going to turn it on dry without the pump first. That oil spray on there does some cooling, but it cleans all of the cuttings out of your stone, so that it stays clean. So I'm going to turn on the motor. I'm going to be over here. And I'm going to slowly come down and see what it cuts. I can back that off just a little bit. You don't want to take much off of that cutting edge. You just want a little bit. That's not too bad. Okay. Now let me get my fan on here. See, that fan is definitely doing the job because there's oil dripping down off. So it's keeping that fog from advancing all over the place. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, this pump, so that you can see how much oil actually sprays out of this. And see, when that stone is spinning, it throws oil all over the place. So you want to contain that somewhat. So I'm going to shut this. Get my fan down on there so I can control that. And then I'm going to turn it on. Everything's on. And start advancing it. Now this has an automatic shut-off on it. So you place one of these magnets on the back side of that blade when it comes around. Now see, I can see where it's hitting here, because this blade was sharpened with a different sharpener at one time, so it's a little different. Excuse me just a minute. Put it right on there. And when it comes around, it will shut this machine down. Now what I have done, to keep, because you get oil, you got a stripper on there that keeps your oil, strips your blade, but there's still oil on the bottom of this, and to keep it from dripping all over the place as it goes around, I put this rag right there to wick that oil off, and that way you don't have, see, I can do this here and I've got oil on my hand, you can see that, but over here, very little. So that's, now this is a plunge cutter, so as that comes around, that stone just drops right in that gullet. Drops right in there. Which, you get both, you get different messages from different sharpeners. Some say you don't need the gullet, some say you do need the gullet because it gets fractures in it, and that could cause your blade to break. It's probably, I'm sure that's true. We've been getting 4 and 5 sharpenings out of our blades previously, but this one does get the gullet. But because it's an older blade, I'll probably go around 2 times, maybe 3 times to get that gullet down. That also keeps the length of your teeth. You're not shortening anything by not hitting the gullet. So as it comes around, it'll shut off, and I'll lower the raise the blade on this one, raise the blade a little bit, and hit it again until I'm happy with what it's doing. Now it's sharp now. I mean, it is sharp right now. If I look at the back side of it, if I look at the cutting edge, it's cutting just perfect. You get a little shine on it. You can probably get shine on it with the light right here. See the shine on that cutting side? So it's actually sharp, but what I want to do is get that gullet ground down a little bit again so that I'm getting all the fractures out of it. And with this automatic shut off, I can walk away from it, do something else here, work on another blade, and it'll shut itself down, and I can come over and change the magnet out. I want that gullet a little bit deeper. So what I'm going to do is raise up my ventilation, shut off the fan or the pump and the motor, because on my trial run, I raised up this motor to advance the chain, or not the chain, but the blade, and everything came on with the motor up, and this thing throws oil about 6 or 7 foot when this motor's up, and that is not good. It is not good. So I just give that a little bit of a turn and make sure my motor's up. Whoops, I gotta turn that on. Okay, now I'm going to turn my pump on, get the oil going. Let it come around here and I'll put the magnet on again. We're getting more gullet here now. Put that over here somewhere. Okay, I took my magnet off. I'm going to advance it and get the pressure off of my advancement here. Okay, that's off, off. Okay, that should be a very good blade. And this one's ready. And if you want to fold them up or leave them, how it depends on how you do it at your shop. Fold this like that, and this blade's ready to go. Now I believe this blade was one of the ones we pulled out of the scrap pile out there. Let me get one of those blades and show you what it looked like before I cleaned it. Blades have been in a pile and they all look rusted and everything. And this is what they look like as soon as I clean them and use them. These blades haven't been sharpened. So we're getting, I mean, we got a pile of them. I think you showed them before. But a lot of difference in the background. I can warm that room up and I won't be so hesitant to come out here in the wintertime and sharpen blades. So I think we're getting it set up pretty good. And we got Wood Miser sharpener in there that's just doing an awesome job. So we will continue to use it.
That's it for today's video, everyone. If you enjoyed, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more content. Other than that, we'll see you back here next time.